Shalom. First, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash. And this is an article on some military training that was going on out there in California. You know, they was running some type of drill. You know, I believe the drill involved like seizing a hospital. You know, they was going in, firing live rounds and explosions, explosives, and things like that. Because the military know they getting closer and closer to where martial law is going to be declared here in the U.S., United States of America. Some people speculating that this could be some training because they're saying California is going to be the first state to run out of gasoline, and you're going to have mass riots in the street. But who knows? One thing the man of the Lord, well, one thing we do know, there will be martial law declared in America. There will be riots in the streets and everything else that comes with it, which is known as Jacob's trouble in the Bible. You know, these are the days that we've been warning you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans about for so long. One day it's not going to be a drill. One day it's going to be live. And we're getting very close to that day. Because the U.S. economy can't go on for much longer, man. These crude oil prices steadily creeping up. The war with Iran and Israel steadily heating up. You know? And now people just sit back, just stuck on stupid, man. Don't know what day it is. Don't know what season we're in right now. Just lost in the sauce, like they say, man. Jake don't have a clue what's going on. You know? But let's get some of this article here. It says days of intense military training exercises at empty buildings have Southern California on edge. A series of military exercises taking place in empty buildings across the Southland are scaring residents and rattling neighbors as the sound of gunfire rings out in the dark and troops descend from helicopters. Multiple nights this week, thousands of simulated urban warfare have erupted in the middle of the night in parts of sleepy Pasadena and Long Beach and an empty mall in the San Gabriel Valley. You know, Gabriel, a name of an angel. It says, as some residents went to bed, video showed a helicopter thundering across the sky as soldiers jumped onto the roof of an empty hospital in the middle of the tree-lined residential neighborhood in Pasadena Wednesday night. Officials have said they've been given little notice and had no say on where or when the exercises would take place. People are trying to sleep, said Rick Cole, a Pasadena City Council member, in a video posted on Instagram late Wednesday as the training continued in the background. This is going to go on for a while, and good luck to the people who have to get up and go to work tomorrow morning. You know, they don't care if you got to get up and go to work because they getting you acclimated. They showing you what they getting ready to do. You know? Like I'm saying, it's going to go live soon. So the military is showing you what's getting ready to take place. And these people worrying about, we got to get up and go to work in the morning. Well, soon these same helicopters and these same troops are going to be gunning and mowing you down in the streets of America, in the streets of California, Pasadena, San Gabriel Valley, wherever, all over the U.S. It's going to be your U.S. military coming against the citizens of the United States. And the number one on the list are you Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are first on the list to be put down and killed. So you should be paying very close attention to these military exercises, because they did one exercise years ago known as Jade Helm, and they had a so-called Negro out there, like a protester, being an actor, and they was out there protesting, man. But this time, when they go live with martial law, they're gonna put you to death, man. And ain't gonna be no protesting. Talking about you need food, you need help, you need water. They're gonna mow you down, and it's all coming from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So we're gonna get a couple precepts, man. We're gonna get the usual precepts, because these precepts don't change. They never have, they never will, man. It's the same precepts over and over and over. And to the elect gets it, man. Pretty much. We'll go to Jeremiah 30 and verse 6. Let's go to verse 5. It says, "For thus says Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace." Yeah, there's no peace in the land right now. In the world, there's no peace. And even on the streets, man. It's like a war zone in every city in America, man, where you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans live. Primarily the so-called Negroes, man. It's like a miniature war zone. But it's going to get worse than that, man. It says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hand on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness." Why? Because there's going to be a paralyzing fear on people's faces when these troops come out mowing, helicopters, gunning you down, jet fighters striking, leveling like they did in Gaza. It's going to be the same thing here in America, man. Verse 7, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it, and it's even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Yeah, the elect is going to be saved out of it. And this time is like no other time in history that the Most High got planned for you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and for Babylon. This is like a time like none other. You're going to see the worst of Esau Edom, man. The Most High gonna have the spirit to have him in rare form, man. He gonna have his horns fully extended, putting you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans to death, man. And you other nations, you gonna get caught up in this too. So you can't say you ain't never been warned. You ain't never heard of, Jacob's trouble. Nothing. You got no excuses, Jake. The scriptures say my people perish for the lack of knowledge, because Jake is not into learning nothing useful, man. Jake is into learning how to do a new dance, how to make them pork ribs tender. Things of that sort. Jake is not into, nothing that's detrimental to life, man. Especially when it comes to the scriptures. But you saw that military, doing the training, and we're going to get a couple more scriptures on this. This is 2 Esdras 16 and 70. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Most High." Yeah, it's gonna be a great insurrection on you so-called Negro Latinos, so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, man, who fear the Most High. It says in every place and in the next cities, because these troops gonna be rolling on you specifically. Verse 71, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Most High. Yeah, they're gonna be like madmen. They're gonna have a spirit on them, man, just to mow you down, man. They're gonna be following orders. They're gonna be damn near like robots, man, just following orders, mowing you down, man. Bloodthirsty, you know. And all this from the Most High Yahweh Shema Shah to bring hell down on you, so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, one last time, man. One good last time. Jacob's trouble. And you're going to see these troops in live in 4K, 20K, whatever Jake say, man. Whatever new word, you're going to see it. You're going to get up and close to these troops. And you're gonna see that flash from them rifles, man. Them long guns, they say. You know, you're going to freak out when grandma get her brain splattered all over the wall, man. But if you want to read more about what these troops are going to do, you can go with this second Esdras in chapter 16. You know, they're not going to be there to babysit you niggas, man. Play patty cake with y'all, man. They're going to be coming to put you to death. And they running drills out there in California, giving you a preview of what's to come. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. And before I do, I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kabadash, and Shalom to the elect.